there are 10 built-in alphabets to embroider on the Singer SE9180. We're working through all the free video tutorials of this beautiful sewing and embroidery machine. If you want to start back at the beginning, there is a link to the complete playlist of all the free video tutorials on this machine. So starting with the sewing videos, then we work into the embroidery ones. And what's nice is that these videos are meant to be short and sweet so you can find the information you're looking for quickly. Now we do ask one thing, that as you watch our videos is that you click that like button every time you watch a video. That helps us greatly, and it helps us be able to continue to make more content for other machine owners and users. So let's get into the fonts. Now I am going to get very excited at the end, because just because you see 10 built-in alphabets on this machine doesn't mean that those are the only 10 that you have access to. There is a free program on the mysewnet.com website called QuickFont. QuickFont allows you to download alphabets from your computer, translate them into stitchable letters, and expand this to thousands of alphabets. So just know that this is just the tip of the iceberg. It is nice that this is in the machine. If you're looking at designs right now on your screen, you have touched the little tulip or flower design. To get to lettering, touch the T. And let's just go ahead and pick a font. So let's see what actually comes up. So it does give us the large hoop. So the large hoop that comes with your machine is the little grid part that you're seeing here. Now if you are doing multiple words or lettering styles, you'll be able to build them, and you can actually align them on the grid here to be perfectly spaced before you start to stitch. So the fonts are all here, so if you want to switch around, you can always do just that. You've got uppercase, which is what the keyboard is showing now. Touch that little up arrow, and it will change your keyboard to lowercase. You also have different punctuation, numbers, and other languages with other symbols that are available and needed as well. Okay, we also have different sizes for this font. So on this one, we have a small, a medium, but the large is actually grayed out. So some of the fonts will have all three sizes, but do note that once you get it on screen, you have the option to size it 20% smaller or 20% bigger. You can also stretch it out and spread out the letters. So let's just get some letters on screen and I'll show you what we can do with it. Let's type in the word smile. I'm going to do both uppercase and lowercase so I can switch it. And then do note that if you are going to want a large letter or smaller fonts, you do need to have that selected before you put it in. So it's not like I can just switch it over to large. Watch, it'll actually give me a large letter, which is kind of nice. You can actually combine both small and large letters all at once. So if you're not getting the results you want, you might play around with both uppercase, lowercase, and large, medium, and small letters all in the same line. So let's go ahead and just touch the check mark here. And then we do have options in the lettering bit for spreading letters out. So you can actually spread them out further. Do note that when we go past the edge of the hoop, it will turn red and let us know that we can't stitch it any further than the edge of the hoop will be. So that is one thing you can do. We can also move things around. Now if you ungroup it, we can actually, so right here's an ungroup, arrowing up or down will let you select different letters, and watch what you can actually do. So you can actually move a letter to a different position within that line. So just kind of know that you can move that around as we can do that. Lots of fun with that. So go ahead, I'm just putting it back on the line so it looks normal. I'll group everybody back together. Let's touch the check mark to come back out. We can also put it on a curve. So there is options to do a curve over the top or do a curve underneath, so you can have some fun with that. And if something doesn't sit on the line perfectly, again, ungroup it, and then you can move this letter up or down or a little closer as is. So with that, we can get it exactly where we want it to be. And we can play around, and again, we can come over here, maybe move that up a little bit, and then down here, up a little bit, and move it around. So feel free to play around with those different options. Let's group it all back together so we can see what we've got. We can rotate this around, so if you need it to go a different direction, you sure can do that as well. I'm going to delete this real quick, and I'm going to show you something else that's going to happen with some of these letters. So I've picked a different font, something that's a little bit scriptier, and I'm going to type in the word Singer, and all in capital letters. Now you notice that G is much higher than the rest of the designs. And actually the R looks a little kind of out of place as well. So where we were actually playing around with adjusting those letters, let's go ahead and go back into that option where we can ungroup and then select the letter that we're looking at and just bring it down to where you would naturally think, oh, that's much more in line with the rest of the letters. So I'm going to do the same thing with this R, and then we can do that. And it's because the R has like the part that dips down, it just didn't know where to go, so you're in charge of some of these letters. Same with the G, the part that goes below the baseline in this particular font style is where you're going to control what you need. So see how that looks much better? Let's do a whole group. Oh yes, and then we're ready to move or stitch this out. I could even see that the N has a little bit extra like part at the top. That is giving the little extra space between the N and the G, and I can actually go back in and move the G probably a little bit closer to the N, and then that way it would be more balanced. So if anything doesn't look perfect, this machine allows you to go in and adjust everything to your liking. Now if you want to bring in a design with this, and you know what, there was a cute little old-fashioned sewing machine that we can bring in if we want to edit these two. You can go ahead and ungroup them because they're kind of together right now. And if you ungroup, and whatever's selected can be moved around. Notice I'm touching and dragging on the screen. I can also use the arrows for more smaller movements as needed. And so I could even bring that higher up. And then when you're ready to stitch this out, you've got two parts of the design that will stitch out. Now it will stitch out in the order you brought it in. So we brought in the letters first and the sewing machine second, and that will be the order you're going to see that stitched out as well. So just keep that in mind. That is the order that you make it in, is the order it's going to stitch. So I want you to go in. It might be a fun thing to do to actually go in and make yourself a little sampler of each of these fonts. Maybe you do just type ABC in the first font and ABC in the second font and just line them all up on the screen. They don't even have to be all balanced, but that would be a great little addition. Stitch them all out on your fabric and put them in like a little sampler book. So when you're wondering, well, gosh, I wonder which font I should use, that would be a great little reference point to you. I will tell you they're going to look 10 times better stitched out than they do just on the screen. So give yourself a little time to experiment, play with the different fonts, and then check out the quick font option, that free software you download. It can be a PC or a Mac user, so Windows or Mac. You will download the free program, and then you will be guided to how to use all the fonts that are in your computer to then bring over on a USB stick, and we can do the exact same thing for making more fonts. And it is a class that we've actually developed as an online course to really help you understand all of the benefits. There's so many elements of it, and most people don't even know this software exists and didn't realize it came with their machine and that it's free. And so at least go check it out. And if you need help, the online course, the Quick Font online course, is the course for you. All right, everyone, get to stitching some of these fonts and have some fun putting lettering on just about anything you want to put, a name, a date, a quilt label. The possibilities are endless.